we speak about the dreams of Paro. What was the dream? He saw 7 cows, 7 pasuk beis. Vahinim min hayor olo sheva poros yefos maria ubrios bosor. 7 cows, good looking, attractive looking, ubrios bosor, healthy fleshed. Veterenu bochu, and they were grazing in the marshes. So you take a look in Rashi. What is the symbolism of Yifos Mareh, which ultimately is going to be the interpretation? Simru Limei Sova. This is an indication of the days of plenty, the years of plenty. Shabrios. Niros Yofos Eluzeh. People, they see one another in a pretty light, in a good light. Why? Shein ayin brio tzar bechaverto. Meaning there's going to be such plenty that the eye of one will not be envious of the other. Now, what is the word tsar? Tsar means narrow. The eye will not be narrow. Okay? When we speak about tunnel vision, you speak about focus. When does envy come about? Someone else has something, and you totally focus on what that person has. That's called tsar ayin. That's ayin ra. A person who's a tsar ayin, who has a narrow eye, he has, the consequence of that is ayin ra. Because you see what he has. What do you see the other person with this so specifically and so exacting? The answer is because you have that focus. But why do you have that focus? It'd be if you'd be preoccupied with your own successes, you wouldn't have time to look at the other person. So what actually engenders the evil eye or the cause of people of envy? It's a lack. Lack causes envy. If there's plenty where everybody has more than enough and they don't even know what to do with this bounty, there's no envy. So Yifos Mareh is an indication there'll be a level of plenty. No one will have this narrow eye to look at anyone else. And this is what I said. The United States, how is it initially depicted and defined? It's the land of plenty. That's what it was known as, the land of plenty. The United States thrived, had boomed. Not only people coming here, but you understand, there was such bounty in the United States with what the government did, giving away land, resources, as much as you want. You just had to take the initiative, you could take it. Therefore, there was tremendous bracha in the United States. The reason why there was bracha is because there was no ayin hara. But why was there no ayin hara? Because there was no tsar ayin. Because people were too preoccupied with their own successes, with opportunities which were presenting themselves. They had no time to look at the next one. As a result of that, there was no ayin ra for that reason. Also, in terms of truth, emes, a person only has a reason to lie because you have no ulterior motive. You want to get the deal, you lie. But you understand, there's no reason to lie. Because people, the whole concept of generosity, a person is naturally generous, there's no reason to fool you, to deceive you. Because there's so much for everyone, there's no reason to hold back. And therefore people treated one another in an exceptional way. And therefore, qualitatively speaking, Americans initially were known as what? As people who were giving, and everything was from top down. That was the whole perspective. So what I said was, Europe was a monarchy. Russia was a czar. England was a king. There was colonialism. England, they conquered the world. They went to India. They took over everything. But everything was the government. Everything was the king. The people were subjects. The United States was the first time in the history of the world that one person had no more say than the other. It was a democracy. That perspective engenders this graciousness, this bounty, this generosity, And it was a land which you could be generous. Therefore, there's no tzarayin. So Yifos Mara means people see one another in the most positive light because they don't feel denied because they have so much. That's the whole understand. That's what we understand. That's Yifos Mara. The whole concept is very interesting. Ezo Osher Asamech Bechelko. Who is the wealthy person? The person who's satisfied with his lot. Now, what does that mean? So the Mefarshim, the commentators say, each person has his portion. One person's portion is not the same as the other. If you're satisfied and you understand what you get is meant to be yours, and what someone else has, it's meant to be his, you don't look at what the other person has. You only look at what someone else has if you believe what he has, you should have. But if you have that emunah, that belief, that what you have, it's chelko. Ezo asher hasamech bechelko. Chelko means with your portion that's meant to be yours. So if you are satisfied with your portion that's meant to be yours, there's no what? You're wealthy. You have everything in the world. I'll give you an example. If everybody would have a superior IQ and a person has an average intelligence, he'd be envious of everyone. Most people don't have superior IQs. So those who do, is anybody envious of Einstein or of the people who win the Nobel Prizes? Maybe somebody who's a contestant for the Nobel Prize, a candidate, he is envious that he didn't get it, the other person received it. But those who are not within that classification, there's no envy. Because in my peer group, something I have no less than anyone else. I have the same ability as everyone else. But if two people are vying for a position and the other person gets it and you don't get it, and you felt you were qualified and you didn't get it, then maybe we'll talk about this envy. Unless there's so many other opportunities that even though you didn't get this, you'll find something else. It's not a problem. And we're learning Bav Metzia that why did Chazal legislate the oath? Because someone who finds something, somebody will grab hold of it, take on hold of it. And he'll justify it. They say, look, he's making 100% profit. It's an ownless object. Why should I be his partner? And people don't see that as stealing. They justify that's only, I'm causing he should have less profit. So we impose the oath that people shouldn't rationalize and behave dishonestly. But even a person who normally would be honest, he somehow could delude himself that maybe it's something he could do. So this discourage it, and if he does it, that he should give it up. We impose the oath to weed out this kind of behavior.